Hello everyone, my name is Gordon for Kite Reviews, and today I've got this kite for us today. This is the HQ Kites F-Box. It's a box kite, obviously. They call this Beach Rainbow. They put that in quotes, don't know what that means. But it is a somewhat rainbow liveried kite here. So, this is my first foray into box kites, which usually I have some experience with a type of kite before I go and do a review. I have to admit I have very limited experience with box kites. This one was my first one, and so keep that in mind throughout the review. So let's get into it. First, let's get into the packaging. This is the packaging. It's your HQ Kite's pretty standard, clear plastic in front, nylon in back. It has a ring up here, so it is ready to fly, and so this is great. Don't mind that, but you notice how much bigger it is than the kite itself. It's a good solid 6 inches or more, and that's because the characteristic length that they're trying to keep inside this package is not this vertical axis, but it's actually this cross beam. This cross beam doesn't have a joint in the middle, and so it is the longest single piece, and so that's what has to hold inside of it. And then they've gone further with the way that they do this attachment point is with an elastic string into like a V groove, right? It kind of goes like this, and as a result, it needs to be an inch longer on each side still. So even though this isn't a particularly big kite, it doesn't pack up very small, which is kind of annoying. It also does take quite a lot to set up. I think that's pretty normal for a box kite, though. The plus side there, though, is that it is built really well. All of these joints are this kind of like rubberized plastic, so they're really tough. They have a lot of damping quality, so you don't have to worry about crashing it on one of these corners or something like that and breaking the joint. They're very, very tough joints. And otherwise, it is built really well. I do like the quality here. I would say it's above average for an HQ kite in terms of quality, and that's a good sign. So, the next thing to look at here is the wind speed that is recommended. This is my kind of next complaint about it. It does say 3 to 24 miles an hour of wind, and that's when they recommend you use the wings, is at this low end. 3 miles an hour, this will not fly at 3 miles an hour. It will not fly in 6 miles an hour. You really got to get up to the 8, 9, 10 mile an hour of wind before it's going to fly reliably. Maybe in like a super steady 8 will it fly, but it's got to be pretty steady in order to fly in that. So this really is a mid-wind kite, and that is with the wings. They say you can take the wings off, and I've taken them off before, but I've actually never flown it with the wings taken off because I've never run into a situation where I thought it had too much pull or not, or too much presence in the sky. And those wings really help with that presence in the sky component, because if you take those off, it's now just a red and yellow box kite, fairly small. So I see almost no reason to take the wings off. Kind of nice feature, but practically I really just don't see a reason to take the wings off. So leave the wings on. It will help in the lower wind conditions, and even in the high wind conditions, it's a box kite. It's not going to be pulling super hard. In fact, now we're going to get to some of the more fun stuff that I like about this kite, which I love the fact that it kind of looks a little unnatural in the sky. Most other kite shapes, even parafoils, deltas, these sorts of things, we kind of like, as humans, have experienced aerodynamics, and like we kind of can see the aerodynamics in process. But in a box kite, it just doesn't look naturally like it could fly, and as a result, it has a real presence in the sky that is kind of like this foreign object kind of feeling to it, which is very fun. I've also taken to, in mid and high wind again, because this isn't going to be a kite that pulls your arm off, in medium and high wind I've taken to flying it with some tails. Now, it doesn't actually have any official tail locations, but because there's so much structure, it's not very hard to hook some tails onto it. And so I do run it with a fuzzy tail sometimes, rainbow fuzzy tail. That's a pretty fun tail. But my new favorite way to fly it has been the twin ribbon tails that I fly it with. Really adds to the presence in the sky, really reinforces the rainbow quality, gets us away from that red-yellow combo here. Gets us away from that. And then the other fun thing is it kind of moves in the sky and has that kind of unnatural feel. Kind of like, maybe like the head of a cobra or something. You kind of have those kind of ears or whatever that cobras have. And it moves kind of slinkily, and the dual tails kind of move together. It's a very cool combination. I think it's a great visual kite. I love it. Really, it's actually a favorite of mine to fly in medium and high wind as a result of this. I basically package it with those ribbon tails, which you can get ribbon tails on Amazon for $5 or whatever. Like, just you should have a couple in your bag anyway. But on this thing, they absolutely sing, and I love it. So I do like this kite a lot. It has great presence. It's well built. It's relatively affordable, and like it does what a good kite ought to do. I do criticize it in low wind conditions. It doesn't do what they say it does, and it doesn't pack up particularly small either, which I think is annoying, especially in a kite that has this many fittings and stuff like that. Why couldn't you just put one more fitting? Just one more fitting, and you could package it significantly smaller than you're doing it. So, especially for a kite that doesn't have a huge area of the sky that it's going to take up, right? It's taking up space by its personality, by kind of its box kitedness, and by whatever tails you can lift with it. So, please, like, I wish I could pack it up a little bit smaller. Thank you. But, yeah, otherwise, I really like this kite. I think it's a cool kite. It is, like I said, my first box kite. Usually I have some experience with quite a few other kites before I, submit a review here. But, as an entry into the box kite genre, it's a genre, I think this is a good one, and I highly recommend it, actually. If you're into box kites and you get a lot of medium to high wind stuff, I think this is a great kite for you. So, I think I'll end my review there. My name is Gordon for Kite Reviews. Thanks for watching.